then the floor is yours to introduce yourself.
Sure.
Yeah. طيب, good evening. Thank you all for joining, and we'll start by Shahab. He's your graduate TA who will introduce himself and will speak about what he is intending to do to help you definitely achieve the objectives of the course. So please, Shahab, start by this.
Sure. Thank you, Doctor. Hey, everyone. My name is Shahab Salam. I'm going to be your graduate TA for this course. Give you some quick background about myself. I'm an ACU alumnus. I graduated fall 2017. I'm currently a master's student here, and I currently work as a software engineer. I have been a TA for more than more than 2 years now, and I would like to point out that CS 110 is, or this course actually is called CS 110. Used to be called that code. It is one of my favorite courses here in the university because you take a lot of fundamental knowledge and core knowledge, I would say, for any computer science student or computer engineering student. So I would say this course is very important for you guys to understand more about data structure and algorithms. And my role here in this course is to make sure you are equipped with hands-on experience on applying the knowledge that you take here in the lectures with Dr. Kamal, and give you the confidence of applying those concepts programmatically. Um, to give you an idea, data structures and algorithms, there are core knowledge being asked everywhere. So any technical interview, actually, they ask about data structures and algorithms, and any tech companies, even the top ones, they can have problems on things that are part of your syllabus, like a linked list or binary search trees. All of those are topics that you take in this course here. So it's very important that you do your best in this course, and always reach out to Dr. Kamal or myself whenever you need any kind of assistance. Okay, so sorry here. So I'm pretty sure Dr. Kamal has mentioned about the lab sessions. So let me take a minute here and give you a brief idea about it. So we're going to have a hidden lab session. It's not the lab session that you take registered on the banner. It's a totally different thing. This hidden lab is going to be on a weekly basis. The idea of having this lab is basically we're going to be having some coding exercises. Any topic that you take in the week, we're going to be covering it in the lab and solve some problems related to that topic. And what else? This lab is basically going to range, I would say, an hour and a half on average. It might take 2 hours, depends on the topic of the week, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys. But let's say it's a 1 hour and a half lab session. The purpose of this lab is I'm going to review the topic with you, and then we'll have some coding questions. I'll solve some problem with you, and we'll think out other solutions. And then you can have at the end of the lab like a couple of problems that you can solve, and then you would have to submit them on Blackboard. Let me point out that those are not graded, so it's basically part of the participation. So if we have 4 problems on a topic, I'll solve 2 of them. The other 2 will be rather straightforward or easy, so you can just solve them and submit them on Blackboard as part of the practice for you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to be sending you tonight a survey. There's going to be basically 2 time slots for the lab session. As you know, there's another TA, Mariam. She's delivering the lab session as well. I'm delivering my lab on Monday, and Mariam, she's delivering her lab on Thursday. I'll send you the exact timings on a survey. You can pick one of them to attend. We're basically delivering the same document. So don't worry, we're both in sync of delivering the lab. So it's just different timings, so it fits your needs. You can either attend Monday or Thursday, okay? I'll send you the exact timing on Blackboard. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Doctor, do you want to add anything else?
No, thank you very much, Shihab. All what I want to add that definitely you can attend one of the sessions. Both Mariam and Shihab, they are fully synchronized with each other. And you're free to attend both if certain topic and
Sure.
is not very understandable by you, so you attend the two lab sessions. So life is open. Just do whatever you want, but please attend at least one lab session in a week, and do solve the exercises, especially at the beginning of the course. You will need it. Trust me at the end that you, uh, 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 at the beginning of the course, you have to start building your foundation. And it's really important that you practice as much as possible. So please do solve the exercises by Shahab in addition to uh, the assignment as well. So good luck, everyone. As Shahab was saying, the survey will be available tonight, inshallah, and I do trust that Shahab will do a great job with you, inshallah, and inshallah, all of you will be يعني, as perfect as possible. Okay, thank you very much, Shahab. You're free to go and free to stay if you wish. Okay, thank you very much.
I would have to go, doctor. So
Yeah,
thanks so
sure.
much. Let me point out, I know some of you guys have taken with Dr. Kamal CS 106 and you're still here. So great. It's great to have you back, guys. You can all also give some idea to the new colleagues here what we're doing in the lab. And yeah, so next week, starting from next Monday, it's going to be the first lab session, and it's going to be a review on pointers, arrays, static arrays, dynamic arrays, and basically we'll do a quick recap on structs and classes. So basically like a CS 106 refresher, but programming wise. That's it. Thank you so much, Dr. Kamal, and looking forward to meet you guys. I'll send you an email tonight.
Thank you very much, Shahab. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Okay. So coming back to me, I'll begin. Does anyone have any questions for me other than the one that asked at the beginning of the lecture, before the start, I mean. Okay. So we're safe to start. Today, inshallah, we will be covering part of the review for 106. The other part will be covered by next lecture on Monday, and I believe we will have part of next Thursday as well for a review of 106. We will basically review most of 106 topics. We will be reviewing flow of control. We will be reviewing classes. Will be reviewing arrays. We'll be reviewing recursion. We'll be reviewing mostly all of the topics. We'll be reviewing files, of course. All of the topics that you have in 106. So don't feel so irritated that you may have forgot 106, but just be optimistic that that nothing is so late, and everything is manageable, inshallah. I shared with all of you my material for 106. You can review whatever you want, all the presentations, the assignments, the projects, etc., etc. In case you need anything. I found out that many people, many students are interested, so I just forwarded for you, uh, forwarded for you the material. This is number one. Number two, I believe in active communication with me during the lecture. Sometimes I may need some time to speak uh, a little bit more, especially when I start explaining the classes in greater details uh, after a while. But generally, I would like the session to be as interactive as possible and as joyful as possible. So, if you wish to participate, and I encourage you to do so. So please just say something on the chat that I am interested or something like this, and then whenever there's a chance, so I'll pick you in the respective order. Be sure that anyone who participates, whether right or wrong, will get a bonus. And I am reminding you that there are certain percentage of this course regarding participation. So participation is important for you and for me to make sure that you understand the material. So just write on the chat that I am interested, and then I am going to pick you, inshallah. There's no harm at all if you don't know whatsoever to answer. Uh, just speak, and this is very important to me. And I might select someone at random, so I might select Adham, Yasin, whoever at random too, and don't feel shy at all by any means. So once again, thank you very much for joining. We'll start the review. And this review is basically from Savage book, all of it. So it's basically what we'll be reviewing today, actually from chapter 2 till chapter 5 or 7. I don't recall very well. Okay. So from chapter 1 till chapter 7, and uh, this is like I said, from Savage book. In general, just excuse me to be late like 10-15 minutes, because at the start I need to cover certain part of the material. So excuse me for being late for 10-15 minutes. So it won't matter, but in order uh, cover uh, to cover the allocated possible, and also answer your all of your questions equally.
It's okay. Take your time, Adam.
So who's my friend today? So Tayam.
Hello,
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah, okay, okay. So Tayam, if we look at this piece of very simple code that we have like here, actually, I would like to divide this code into the following section. Uh, Include IO stream using namespace std, and the main start, the main end, and this return 0, and this bunch piece of code. So first, Let's start by IO-Stream and include IO-Stream. So what is basically IO-Stream, Tayam?
Include IO stream, as I remember, is the program that enables the code to start.
Two?
To run the IO
Oh,
stream. It
no,
may,
not really. Few other things. First, IO-Stream is a C++ library. IO-Stream is a C++ library. What does it mean by a library? It means that it has some functions, and those functions are doing some good things for you. So IO-Stream stands for input-output stream, and actually it is a library. And there are two kinds of libraries. There are two kinds of libraries. You have what's so called a user-defined library. And IoT is standard library. What does it mean, standard library? Standard library
Doctor, we can't hear you well.
if someone invented
Doctor, you are lagging.
the connection is
some
we can't hear you, doctor.
plus
الدكتور خرج يا جماعة تقريبا.
يرجع لنا بالسلامة إن شاء الله.
نورك عايز. يعني أنا حد فاكر حاجة من CS1 يعني 106 ولا كله زي
انا فاكر
كنت عايز
معظم
أقول لك
الحاجات
السؤال ده يا ابني.
إيه؟
في سي اوت وفي سي ان ده اكيد يعني.
كده في
ده
دول.
لازم كده
بصراحة مشكلتي إن أنا نسيت كل حاجة بقالي سنة مثلا أو سنة ونص.
في variable كمان على ما أعتقد يعني. صح؟
وفي انت
لا ده بقى نراجعه بقى.
ده لازم.
هو كريم نايم يلا. الدكتور بعت لنا على الجروب. coming back.
يا جماعة هو مين الهوست؟
تهيألي
أنا.
محمد حشيش. خلاص نقفل المايك.
for this. Okay. It seems that the internet stability is bad because of the rain or something like this. Anyways, we were speaking about IOStream. IOStream. Okay. You hear my voice now?
Yes.
Yes, we hear your voice.
Yes,
Okay. So IOStream is a library. And we have said that there are two types of libraries. Either user-defined libraries, which is a library that is made by you, and either it is a library that is standard and packaged with the C++ language. And one of them is IOStream. What's a library? A library is basically having some functionality in order to ease your life for building new applications. So, for example, the C math library, it contains the square root. What if we don't have libraries? Then, in order to make square root, you will write a big piece of code. So that's why there are libraries. In this course, you will be building your own library. So it will be a library of Adham, a library of Freddy, a library of Muhammad, a library of Rana, a library of whoever. So you will build your own library. You will build your own functions that will be used by others, inshallah. So this is include, and this include actually what does it mean? It means that I want the library that is called IOStream to be included with my code, And what does this mean? I have the source code, the C++ source code, and when I compile the C++ code, when I compile it with the compiler, what happened, ya Freddy, when I compile a C++ code? Freddy, you're with me?
Yes, يا دكتور.
So when I compile a C++, what happened? What happens?
الكومبايلر بيران الالجوريزم وي translate it to 0 and 1 عشان لماشين لانجوج يعني.
Yes, this is what I want to hear. The compiler transform this English language into ones and zero, and this is what's so called a machine language. And then I already have the object code for which is ones and zeros for the IOStream. So what does the linker do, ya Freddy? If you still remember, of course. It was chapter 1, so it's, so the linker, we have two things, the compiler and the linker. And the linker actually links two object code together to produce the executable file, the .exe file, the one that will show you on the screen the output of your C++ file. By the way, if someone knows the answer, please speak immediately without raising your hand. Okay, so we have a library. Then we'll have another friend with me. All the friends that wanted to chat, they gone away. So please write your name. So again, for the chatting, for the participation. So we'll pick Adham. Okay.
Yes.
So Adham, do you still remember what's using namespace STD?
It's I don't remember what exactly it is, but I remember that it allows us to use the cout and cin functions and the endline like operations.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Doctor, may I answer?
Yeah. Yes, Ali.
The using namespace STD, it allows us to use the standard form and not the modified form. So when we put the STD using namespace STD, we don't have to put STD before cout and cin and after it.
Yes. Perfect. Yani, whoever answers, give himself a bonus, and inshallah on Monday you will have a Google Sheet so that you write your bonus, whether you answered right or wrong. At least you participated. Yeah. So I was just waiting for the drop and add to finish in order to have the final class list for me. And so, anyways, so you answer a little bit good. So using namespace STD stands for using namespace standard. And this comes after you define a library. And this comes after you define a library. And what does it mean? It means that please use the functions that exist in the library, like cin and cout. Use them in a standard way, in an unmodified way. So it says that please use the standard domain of IOStream when you write your functions that belong to IOStream. Again, it means that please use the functions that were made by the programmer of IOStream, the standard function unmodified. And the word unmodified means that you can really, in your program, modify what cin and cout are doing. You can modify them. I'm saying in general. And this using namespace STD says that please use cin and cout, the one that the programmer has made. Okay. And if you don't write use namespace standard, what happened? It happens like my friend Ali was saying. It happens that you have to make something like this, standard cin, and then write the statement, standard cout, and then write the statement.
I think there's also standard
Later
endline.
on in this course, endline.
I think endline is also written
What's
that way.
endline?
ENDL.
Excuse me, I don't hear you, Adham, well.
After cout, when we want to end a line,
yes,
we do
yeah. Yes. Oh, you mean like end line?
Yes, exactly. But I think don't we use the std double colon and then end line if we don't use as the namespace STD?
Yes, exactly. So instead of repeating std column, std column, std column, then we use using namespace std. And later on in this course, I will teach you how to do your own library, and I will teach you how to do your own namespaces. And inside those namespaces, you will find the functions of Adham, the functions of Ali, the functions of Freddy, the function of Anna, etc., etc. So, coming back to our friend, Karim.
Yes, يا دكتور.
Yes, Karim. So, what's a main function? What's int main and return 0 and this closing bracket?
هو الريتيرن زيرو يا دكتور دي الحاجه اللي بتخلي يعني الكومبايلر يفهم ان ده اخر حاجه وبعد كده هيران الكود.
ممتاز. And what's int main?
الانت مين دي المين فانكشن الاساسيه اللي هي مثلا لو هعمل كذا فانكشن بقول الفانكشنز دي في المين برضو، فدي الفانكشن اللي لازم تكون موجوده في اي كود.
ممتاز يا كريم، ممتاز ممتاز. طيب let's compile what Karim was saying. So int main is a function, and the C++ structure start executing your code starting from the first line after the opening bracket of main. The function that's called main. It start executing from here, from this end, from this, and then followed by cout till return 0, till return 0. So this is the structure of C++. This is the structure of C++. So it starts by the first line after the opening bracket of the main. It continues till at 0. Okay. Actually, this will make me will make me recall 3 concepts that I have said in the previous lecture. First, inside the main, you are calling, like Karim was saying, you're calling functions. What else you can do from the main other than calling function and write pieces of code? What else?
Declare variables.
Declare variables, yes. What else? Declare variables, writing pieces of code, calling functions. No, excuse me, I don't hear
creating files and write it on them, like external files.
Yeah. Forget about files. Yeah, other than all of this, what else?
Loops. Also write my equations in it.
Write your equation. What else?
Classes we can.
Yes, exactly, Anna, exactly, Adham. So, from inside the main, you were having, you start creating objects that belong to certain classes, and you start calling the methods that exist in your classes based on the object. Do you remember something? Of course, we will cover this in greater details and we will review it, and we will have lots of things later on based on classes and objects. But do you remember if you have the class called car and an object, my blue car, you defined it? Do you remember when you were saying my blue car dot start engine, and this is a function and then you call this function that belongs to the class, which is called car, that you have defined before the main, if you recall this aspect. By the way, what I did here, we defined a term in the previous lecture that is related to this piece of code. Do you remember what is the term?
Object-oriented programming.
Yes, object-oriented what?
Programming.
Programming. Yassine, great. Great, Yassine. So stay with me, Yassine. Okay? So we defined two terms. We defined OOD, and then we defined OOP. So, Yassine, what's OOD and what's OOP? Just describe them in simple words, yeah.
So OOD is object-oriented design, and it's a way, it's an approach to software design, and it has like, it's a process of you define objects and then you have like interactions between these objects, and it's a way, yeah.
Great. Yeah, this is OOD. And we said that we have to design before we code. We have to design before we code. And then what's OOP comes naturally?
It's object-oriented programming, and it's writing program, like it's a way for writing computer programs using objects that represent data in different methods.
Yeah, ممتاز. And you write this in this course in C++. But later on, when you are maybe in your junior year, you will write them in Java. Maybe you write them in, I don't know if you have C# or something, but you write them in C# as well. So object-oriented design and object-oriented programming. I'll tell you something as a tip from now. The best projects that get the highest mark, you actually make your main function contain one line or two lines to be specific. And I am telling you this from the start of the semester. Your objective is to make the main as short as possible, to make the names as short as possible, as short as possible. Sorry. So the main, you have everything in classes. You have everything in classes. And we will describe this in greater details. You don't have to worry about this. This is the concept of encapsulation. يعني بالعربي تحط everything في كبسولة. The variables and the methods. The variables as the methods. We will have a great deal of discussion about this. So coming back to what I was explaining, the best thing is to put everything in classes, and then your main is something like this. Int main, and then my application. Let's say, since Yusuf was speaking, Yusuf application, whatever you want to name it, and then Yusuf application dot start. That's it. Then the game starts. خلاص. The shorter the main, the shorter the main, the best thing that you have. In this, having this, you are really applying OOD and OOP quite well. Yani, in some aspect, not in everything. So, anyways, let's come back to what we were discussing. So this is mainly what exists in the main. Let's go briefly about each topic. So here I'll have one friend with me. So I have Ikrami. Yes.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. Okay. So what was this? If you look at int num equal 20, what is this?
It's a declaration, like we declared the variable called num, and it's an integer between the semicolon at the end. And we decided that its value is equal to 2.
Yes. We decided that its value initially is equal to 20. You decided that its value initially is equal to 20. Okay. So int num equal 20. When we have int num equal 20, after the compiler start compiling, what will the compiler do when I'm not talking to you, I'm just talking to the class. When the compiler start compiling this statement, what will happen? Can anybody tell me what will happen? The compiler will do what?
Make
The compiler
in memory.
The compiler will
take a memory slot.
Yes,
like create the variable num, give it like
yes, exactly. That's great. That's great. So the compiler will reserve a piece of memory, and this piece of memory is based on the data type. The data type means data and type. Data is a fact, as we have said, and type is what this variable belong to. So basically, it will reserve a piece of memory and it will put 20 in this piece of memory. So int num equal 20. This means assignment of this memory location to be 20, just to be 20. Okay, so this is a piece of memory, and this is the address to the piece of memory. Let's name it num, and then this piece here is 20. So this is basically int num equal 20. So there are 3 data types in C++. 3 categories of data types in C++. We have the derived data type. And this is like the array, the pointer. We have the built-in data type, which is the int, char, float, whatever. And we have the user-defined, like the structure and the enum. So the array is a data type. The int is a data type. The class is a data type at the end of the day. The structure is a data type. Yes. So we said in the previous time, we talked about data structure. We talked about data structure. And actually, we spoke about the definition of the data structure. What was the definition, or what was data structure all about? Someone to answer me? Anyone that likes to answer?
The definition of data structure?
Yes.
I don't remember. So.
Doctor, I didn't hear the question. Can you repeat it?
Yes. So what I said, that we spoke in the previous time about that we have some chapters in this course that is related to data structure. So I'm asking, what is data structure?
It's, for example, like when we said in the first lecture, trees, how it organizes and stores the data that we can then modify or something like that?
Yes, great, Ali, great. So data structure is data and structure. Data is a fact, structure, how the data is organized in a given structure. So if we have the array, which is something like this, it has, for example, your ages, 18, 19, 19. So 18, 19, 19 is a fact. This is the data. Structures that the data are organized in blocks one after the other. So this is block number 0, this is block number 1, and this is mainly block number 2. So this is basically data structure. Anyways, we spoke about the data type, and each data type, we have the short, int, and long, which in which we store. I'm very sorry if this this lecture sound boring for some people. That's okay, but I am just rebuilding the foundation, and we will start step by step. Starting from the next lecture, you will start to see the move. So I'm sorry for reviewing some basic material. However, it's important to build a good foundation. So Abdurrahman, you may speak.
Doctor, sorry, my internet was lagged out a bit when you were saying the definition of data structure. What was it again?
Yeah, so data structure was data and structure. Data is a fact, and structure, how are the facts organized together? So if you have an array, and this array has blocks, block number 0 that contains the age of Abdurrahman, block number 1 contains the age of Freddy, block number 2 that contains the age of Rana. So they are one after each other. So this is the way the data is organized, the way the facts are organized together. So this is basically the data structure. And we spoke in the previous time about trees. When you have some sort of a data and it has some children, one that is less than this kind of data and the one that is greater than this data. So this is called the tree. So what you have taken in 106, you have taken something like the array, you have taken the stack and the queue. All of them are data structure in which the data is organized into a given structure. Is that okay, Abdurrahman?
Yes, thank you, doctor.
It seems that you're disconnected again. Okay. So we have the data types. We have the short, int, and long. They are whole numbers. What does it mean, whole number? It means that they don't contain decimal points. So it's 10, 11, 12, etc., etc. And whenever you define a variable, this means that it is allocated to some bytes, in which it is 2 bytes for the short, 4 bytes for the int. For the long, some operating system have it 4 bytes, some other operating system have it more. The float is 4 bytes. The float double and the long double, they are numbers with decimal points. And for the short, you can enter or allocate numbers from this range up to this range, from this range up to this range. For the int, from this range up to this range. For the long, from this range up to this range. And here we go forward. So we have the type of the variable. We have how many bytes are allocated for this variable. We have how what are the ranges, the minimum ranges and the maximum ranges for those variables. What are the minimum values that you can put in this space, and what is the maximum value? And for the data type that accepts a number after that accepts decimal point. So those are the numbers that this data type can hold after the decimal point. What does it mean? If the data type is a float, so you can have a number like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you have a double, then 1.1 till 15 digits after the decimal point. We have here, in this very simple program, we have here an equation. And this equation means that there is left-hand side and there's right-hand side. And this equation will be evaluated. This equation will be evaluated. So the total P's will equal the number of bots times, this is an operation, this is a mathematical operation, times P's per pod. Okay, so this is a mathematical operation. Then we have what's so-called a precedence rules. What are the precedence rules? Actually, it is the order in which this equation or this expression will be evaluated. Based on what order? Based on what order? Based on what order? So if we have this equation right here, x equal b times b minus 4 times a times c. So basically, how does it go? If you have parentheses, then parentheses come first. Then multiplication and division, and then plus and minus. So if I have this in parentheses, then I start evaluating b times b. Then I go from left to right. I go from left to right. Then I evaluate 4 times a times c, and then whatever the result of this will be deducted from the result of this. So this is called precedence rules. This is called precedence rules. We'll go now to another topic, which is flow of control. And this is basically chapter I believe 3 and 4 in I'm not so sure, maybe 3 and 4 in your Savage book. So what's flow of control, and what are the types of C++ language constructs that that gives you this specific flow of control, as we will describe. So first, what's flow of control? If we go back and let me pick a friend. So Tayam, you want to speak?
دكتور في حتة النمبرز دي معلش كان في آخر بارت ما فهمتوش كويس أوي فمعلش يا دكتور لو ينفع تقولوا تاني.
sure. الايكويجن the last equation
أيوه هما دول.
لا ولا دي
أيوه
دي؟
لا مش دي خالص.
دي؟
لا اللي بعديها أيوه دي.
دي
اه
okay so I'll repeat it yeah.
معلش يا دكتور.
So if we have x equal b times b minus 4 times a times c, we want to evaluate x. يعني من الآخر نحسب قيمة x. Okay? طيب عشان نحسب قيمة x, assuming that this is the expression, I have parentheses. What is the rule? The rule says that I have to evaluate whatever between the parentheses. أي حاجة جوه ال parentheses. Okay? So I start by evaluating b times b. So assuming that b is equal to 2, then it is 2 times 2. This is the first thing I evaluate. Then the multiplication has higher priority than the plus and the minus. Means they are it is evaluated first before the minus. So assuming that a is 1 and c is 3, then I start evaluating 4 times 1 times 3. Then فاضل لي ايه؟ فاضل لي الماينس. يبقى 2 times 2 is 4 and then minus 12 which is minus 8. فبالتالي البريزيدنت رولز بتقول لي ايه يا تيام؟ بتقول لي انا هايفالويت الاكسبريشن ازاي؟ بايفالويت اول حاجه الانثيسز، بعد كده بايفالويت التايمز والديفيجن، بعد كده بايفالويت البلس اور ماينس، وببتدي من الشمال لليمين. اول ما بلاقي مالتيبليكيشن، اول ما بلاقي حاجه ما بين بارنثيسز باخدها، بعد كده بشوف المالتيبليكيشن من الشمال لليمين موجود فين، بعمل له ايفالويشن، بعد كده بشوف فيه بلس اور ماينس وهكذا. فهمت؟
اوكي ميرسي جدا.
اوكي يا حبيبي.
ثانك يو.
طيب flow of control. طيب if we pick what's flow of control? Flow of control as it is يعني as the name implies. What does it mean? It means that this is the execution of the C++ statement in the program. Normally, what does it mean? The execution of the C++ program, it means that the compiler will start sequentially. What does it mean sequentially? It means one after the other. It means one after the other. I will start with the first statement after the opening bracket of the main. I will start sequentially, int hours, double, cout, cn, cout, cn. So normally I start sequentially one after the other, except in two conditions. Except with what's so-called a selection, means I select if I will choose this statement or that statement. Or a loop means I will repeat certain statements again and again. يبقى normally I go sequentially one after the other unless I have a loop or a selection. For the selection, I have two things: the if statement, which is a condition, and the switch, which is very similar to the if statement. It's a different syntax. and then I have a loop. I have the for loop, the while loop, and the do while loop. Let's see them one after the other. I'll pick a friend with me. So I already picked a comment. So I'll have Ahmad Mustafa.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Ahmed. So if you look at this simple piece of code, so we will start sequentially to after the opening bracket of the main, and then we will go till which statement I will jump or I will do something other than a sequential execution.
The CN rate, where the program is waiting for me to type something.
Yes, but I'm still going sequentially. So I go C out, CN, C out, CN. Then
Then comes to the if statement where it gives two branches. If the hours is bigger than 40, it will do something, and if it's equal or more than 40, it will do something else.
ممتاز. So excellent. So this means I am going to select. 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 Either I will execute this statement or that statement. I will execute this statement or that statement. Then it's not becoming sequential. One after the other. واحدة ورا الثانية. It's becoming that I will execute this or that. It's becoming that I will execute this or that. So let's go back to Ahmed. So Ahmed, if hours greater than 40, so I will go to the first statement or the second statement if hours is less than or equal to 40. So what does this is called, Ahmed?
A conditional statement.
A condition. Okay.
Yes.
And it is called also a Boolean expression. What does it mean, a Boolean expression?
It can be true or false.
True, false.
Exactly, true or false. So if hours greater than false, this is a Boolean expression. This is a Boolean expression, which means that if the Boolean has two values, either true or false. So this expression, it's like an equation, will be evaluated to either true or either false. I will enter, I will see in the hours, assuming the hours is 50. So it will compare 50. Are you greater than 40? Yes, I'm greater than 40. Then I will go to the next statement. If it is greater than 40, so I will go to the first statement, else I will go to the second statement. So what I am doing here is evaluating a Boolean expression, يعني I want to make sure that is it true or is it false? Is it true or is it false? Okay, in this case, it's true. Evaluating a Boolean expression is evaluating it to be true or false. It can be as simple as this. And it can be as complex as this. If hours greater than 40 or minutes less than 60 and hours, whatever, and I'm just doing anything, greater than 80 and minutes greater than 100. Whatsoever, and I don't care about the numbers, okay? It can be as complex as this. Then How do I evaluate this? I evaluate this with also precedence rules. I evaluate this with precedence rules that is similar to the equation. What is the first thing I start with? The first thing I start with is always the parentheses. And this is what I start with. I always start with the parentheses. So I start with evaluating hours greater than 40, and then whatever between the parentheses, minutes less than 60, and then the result of hours greater than 40 and the result of minutes greater than 60, and I OR them. Do you remember what was the OR? We were having the OR, the AND, and the NOT. The OR and the NOT. So anyone remembers what's the OR and the NOT? They are called operators. So greater than, less than, they are called operators. So I have different kind of operators, logical operators, mathematical operators, etc., etc. So anyone remembers
Yes,
the
doctor.
AND and the OR?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, go ahead.
Or
So
gives gives true if one of the two conditions is true, and the operator AND gives true only if the two conditions are true.
ممتاز. غادة great. So let's forget sorry, I'm having I'm sorry, I'm having so as Ghada rightfully said, when I have the operator which is AND, I should have two Boolean expressions that are true together to give me the result which is true, to give me the result which is true, to give me the result which is true. If I have an OR, either one of them is true to give me the result of true. I'll give you an example. So if so this is an expression. This is an expression. This is an expression. As I told you, I start whatever between the brackets. I will start whatever between the brackets. I will start whatever between the brackets. So this is called expression 1, and this is called expression 2. So the bracket, assuming that y is equal to 8, assuming that this is the case. So I start this evaluation. So what do? I say y, which is 8, are you less than 3? No, I am not less than 3. So the result of this is false. The result of this is false. Y, which is 8, are you bigger than 7? This is the other expression. This is expression 2. Then it is 2. Then I start evaluating the OR. So it is false or 2. False or 2 is 2. Okay? So not 2. Always you invert. If you have 2, it will become false. If you have false, it will become 2. So not 2 is equal to false. So I repeat, the Boolean expression is evaluated also based on some priority. You evaluate what's in the parentheses first. You evaluate the or and you evaluate the greater than or less than, and here we go. We have certain priority table that I will send it to you. So you evaluate the expression from left to right based on the priority. Parentheses first, then less than, greater than, less or and, etc., etc. And or not. And says what? If I am having 2 Boolean expression as true, then the result will be true. True and false is false. False and true is false as well. And I am giving you a table here where you can use it for and or and not. Not just inverts. يعني ال true becomes false and the false becomes true. Okay. We'll go into another thing. We'll go into the loops. The loops we have two kinds, or we spoke about the if, I'm sorry. We'll speak about the switch, which is similar to the switch is similar to the F. So I'll pick one friend with me. So I'll pick Yasin again. So Yasin, you're with me?
Yes.
Yes. So can you briefly explain the switch statement? As we said, it's a sort of selection, which means that I am selecting a statement or a set of statements among the others. So can you briefly explain the switch statement?
So a switch statement is a way to evaluate certain Boolean expressions using what's known as cases. So we have multiple cases, and if a Boolean expression is resulted to be true, then it goes into that case and does not exit unless we have a break statement. And at the end, we have a default, which is basically like saying the else all other situations.
Yes. So the switch statement is basically similar to the if statement. However, you will be selecting one of the cases. You will be selecting one of the cases. So switch, so CN grades. So you are going to enter the grade. It's a character. So the data type is a character. The data type is a character. So if the character is A, you are going to do those statement whatever before the break. If the character is B, you're going to do those statements before the break. If it's C, you're going to do those statements before the break. If it is D or F, because I don't have statements here between the D and F. So if it is D or F, then I do those statements before the break. If it's not A, B, C, D, F, I will do what's so-called a default. So I will see out the this is not a possible gate. So this is basic. Okay. So now for the loops. For the loops, I have two kinds of ways that I will do looping with. I have the while loop and I have the do while loop. Generally, the while loop or the do while loop executes certain statements for some time or for some iterations or no iterations, for some iterations or no iteration. So what the while loop is doing? So someone is helping me. I am going to finish in 5 minutes. So I'll have Muhammad Hashish. So Muhammad, you're with me?
Yes, doctor.
So what is the while loop is doing?
No, as long as the condition is satisfied, it executes all the codes يعني between the brackets.
Between the brackets. Okay. So now, please, your terminology change a little bit. Instead of the condition, let's say the Boolean expression, because we said that the Boolean expression is evaluated to true or to false. So while this Boolean expression is true, طالما this Boolean expression is true, please execute this part. Hello and countdown equal countdown -1. What happens if countdown, if I don't have this statement, countdown equal countdown -1? What happens?
Infinity loop.
Infinite loop, that's great, Muhammad. Why? Because countdown will be always a positive number, will be always a positive number. So thank you, Muhammad, for this. I'll have another friend and then I'll have Anna. So Anna, what is the difference between the while loop and the do while loop?
In the do while loop, the loop will be executed at least once, but in while loop, code may not be
just wait. So the while loop, it may not be the statements after the while loop, this see out hello or countdown equal countdown -1 may not be executed at all. It will be executed 0 times if countdown is a negative number. However, in the do while, it will be executed at least once. Yes? Yeah. As far as what, Rana? It will be executed once and repeated as far as what?
The Boolean expression equal true?
Is 2. 2, that's great. So, major difference, the while loop may not be executed at all. The do while loop, it will be executed at least once and then evaluating the while Boolean expression and then repeat itself as far as the Boolean expression is true. So next lecture, inshallah, we're a little bit lagging, but that's very okay. This is the for loop. You can review it yourself. We're a little bit lagging behind the other section who taking the function, but that's perfectly okay. Next lecture, inshallah, I will be continuing the review for 106, and I'll be tackling more serious topics like the functions, the arrays, the classes, the files, and stuff like this, the recursion. So thank you very much for coming here. Wishing you a pleasant weekend. So happy weekend starting from today. If you have any questions, just stay and can repeat whatever you want. If you don't have, so have a good weekend and see you Monday. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Doctor, I wanted to ask a question, please.
Yeah, sure, Yasin, sure.
So are we gonna have an assignment, like a review assignment that we have to submit?
Yes, Yasin. We'll have a view assignment between, I believe, on next Monday, and this assignment is a view assignment for the critical topics, which is basically the classes, the pointers, and I believe the recursion. So.
Okay.
So
Do you mind?
next assignment is for, yeah, continue. Yes.
Do you mind if I get the assignment in advance so I can do it? So I can have like more time.
Yeah. Do I mind?
If I
Excuse me?
just get the assignment in advance, like sometime this weekend, so I can just finish it this weekend in advance.
Well, I don't mind. I'm in the final stage of doing it, so
Take your time.
I believe I can send it to all of you in on Saturday, inshallah. I think.
All right, just take your time. It's fine.
It will be available Saturday, inshallah.
Okay. Thank you so
So
much.
for all of you, and instead of Monday.
Okay.
Okay, but and again we'll have another assignment actually, but it will be having a topic from 110. It will be also regarding classes, but we'll have a material that will be taken from. So we'll consider about 2 assignments that quite a review from 106. So I will send you the assignment inshallah on Saturday, all of you, Yasin. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
دكتور ولما نخلص الكودز دي، قصدي المراجعة اللي احنا هنعملها للشابترز القديمة، يعني CS1 و 6، احنا هنجرب الكودز بقى في الهيدن لاب، صح؟
هتجرب، هيبقى عندك في الهيدن لاب اعتقد سيشن تجرب في الكود اللي انت عملت فيه ريفيو، يعني مثلا هتجرب كود على الكلاسز، كود على الفانكشنز الى اخره يعني.
طب تمام، اوكي، ميرسي كده، ثانك يو.
لا طبعا.
دكتور أنا عندي question بس، هو ممكن الكلاس الجاي أحضره يوم الأحد بدل الاثنين؟
لا you can do whatever you want يعني.
Is it okay يعني؟ طيب.
By the way, can you spell your name? I mean تقولي what's your name?
Andra.
يعني to pronounce it. Are you Anda or Anda? So.
Andra.
Okay. So this sounds like يعني ده Italian name أعتقد أو حاجة زي كده.
Yes.
Okay. يعني I have my son is Ando, so I was.
It's the female of Andrew عامة. يعني هي أصلا غالبا it's a Greek name، هو female of Andrew أو Andros يعني whatever.
عارف. لا أصل يعني أعتقد إن هو جريك أو إيطاليان حاجة كده، عشان كده هو أندا not أندا.
أيوه. خلاص.
اوكي. لا you can attend whatever، بس هي القصة إنه كده. نعم.
هي هتبقى بس المرة الجاية، بس أنا مش هقعد أحضر يعني، هو بس هيبقى عشان عندي حاجة.
لا مش قصدي، لا أنا يعني مش فارق معايا تحضري أي واحدة فيهم.